Hello and welcome to another episode from the Water's Edge. Today you catch up with us at Reepham Fisheries, and because the reason being is I've booked a little match, a friendly knock-up between a few mates, some work colleagues and people I fish with to hopefully talk you through a live situation match. Now I know most of my filming I do is particularly picking one method and showing you how to fish that, but not necessarily in a match is that the way forward, because you have to have, let's say, a plan A, B, C, even to Z sometimes, because you have to work out what's happening on the day. So that's what we've done. It's going to be nice and friendly. I don't think I'm going to win. I've got the camera behind me, but hopefully we'll talk you through my live decisions and the reason why I'm doing it. So I'm going to peg this out now. We'll get it all sorted. I'll do the draw, and then we'll catch back up with you on the peg, and we'll talk you through what we're going to do and what we're going to start with. Okay, so we're here set up now. I've drawn peg 27, which I've already had quite a bit of abuse about because it has got a bit of form. Although the lake really didn't fish yesterday, I don't know if there was many fish caught off here. In the past, it's been a good peg. So as you can imagine, with friends and that, all the abuse started and they're saying if I don't win from here today, I've got it wrong. So perhaps I have if I don't. But we'll talk you through my match and my peg. So this peg here starts off relatively shallow and slopes out. Now, I've fished a winterleak here a bit, and most of the fishing, to be honest, has been maggot fishing. So the two lines I'm going and what I'm starting on, one is going to be hand thrown, so that'll be quite short. I'll kind of be called the throwaway line. So that's only going to be sort of 5 or 6 metres to my left, and I'm just going to slowly drip maggots over that all day. If they come there, you can tend to catch quite a few. Sometimes, because it is cold, I mean, we have had some sharp frosts over the last couple of weeks, they just never turn up. But because it's out of the way, down the side there, you can just throw that away, and if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter if you don't catch. But the main line I'm fishing is, it's going to be 13 or 14.5 metres towards the middle. So it slowly goes down. I think the colder it gets, the deeper water is what I'm looking for. So rig wise with that, I don't really complicate things. Probably if Chris walks around here, he'll see I've got 3 or 4 weeks. Wayne over there is probably the most prepared angler in the world. He's probably got 8 kits, I don't know. But I like to keep things really simple. So rig wise, I've just gone for a 0.5 gram float. It's about 4 or 5 foot deep, so that's about right. 0.13 mainline down to an 0.11 hook length. Although fish can go relatively big in here, they don't tend to fight this time of year, so you can get away with it. And the plan is going to be, just to start, I'm going to start off very, very minimal feeding with maggot, drip that in and see if we can catch a fish. If we can't, we'll move it around a bit, perhaps try and find it. Now I've got some space also to my right on this peg. It does go around the corner a bit, so I can't get round there, but that is a channel where no one's fishing. So again, points to look out for is where you think them fish are going to end up. If you look all around this bowl where I'm sitting, I've got anglers everywhere. The only bit of sort of safety is back under that bridge. Perhaps if I later on tuck myself round there, I perhaps could catch down there. And I have also, so rig wise, I've got, like I said, my standard rig. This is what I'm going to be fishing hopefully most day. I've got a duplicate of this just purely for speed. If this tangles, anything goes wrong with it, just pick the next one up and you've got exactly the same. The other rig, short, is exactly the same but just shallower. And I've got one, as we said, for down this edge down the right. Lot shallower water, but as the sun comes up, that's the first thing that warms up. So we perhaps might prime that with a couple of hours to go. We'll have a look down there. So I'm going to keep it simple. I have got a bomb rod as well, but that probably won't feature just because no one's really caught on it here. But I have got an area out in front of me, so perhaps if it really does struggle from here, I can chuck a maggot feed or a bit of popped up bread or something just to try and get a bite. You have to play it, boy. You can never get the right answer straight away. I've got 11 other people sitting around here. Use them to your advantage as well. If someone else is catching on X method, why they get on there, have a look what they're doing, and you can kind of mould your swim too. I know everyone's going to be different and every swim's going to be different, but certainly each day tends to lean itself to one method beating something else. So you first go with what you know, but use people around you. Although you're competing against them, they can actually help you without realising. So we've got a couple of minutes. I'm just going to tidy myself up a bit. We'll give it the all-in shout, and hopefully we're going to have a good day, but you never know. That's why it's match fishing. We'll see what happens. Righto! So we're staying with, someone's even got a whistle, that's better, wasn't it? Not even organising, that's better, but we're going with the maggot line that we said. 13 metres, and we're not feeding hardly anything to start with. I've probably got 20 maggots to start with. You can always add it, but you can't take it away. So we're going over, we'll pick the marker on the far side, and then we're literally going to go over the top. Now, in previous times, if you're going to have a good day, you catch relatively quick. So probably within the first 20 minutes we'll know what sort of day it's going to be, and all we're going to do is slowly lift and drop as well, just to try and put some life into that bait, see if we can get something to snatch it as well. But no one's caught one straight away, so that's good news. Well, that has been a very quiet start. Wayne has had one. At the minute, as far as I'm aware, that's the only fish that's been caught apart from a little roach. I've missed a bite, but it looks like it could be a tough day, so we're probably going to be changing a lot, working around, try and make something happen, because it's not going to be a day when you're going to go in on one line and it's just going to keep going under. So that makes it more exciting, I guess. Perhaps not for fish footage, but for working out how to get a bite or two. So we'll keep plugging away to start with, and then we'll perhaps catch up with you a bit, hopefully with a fish. So far we have very little to report. I've not managed to have a carp. I've had a couple of roach. I think there's been 3 people with 1 carp now, so everyone's still in it, and that's the main thing, is that no one's run away with it, so everything's still to fish for. But I've tried a few different things. I've fished perhaps 3 or 4 different spots with nothing. Now put an extra joint on just to see if they've pushed further away from us. As it gets cold, the water goes clear. Looking around, the 3 fish that have been caught, like I said earlier, they've been pretty much, I would say, doing the same sort of thing. No one looks like they're really feeding a lot, and it's just like everyone's waiting for one bite really. So I'm just going to keep moving. I've put a little bit of pellet in on this line just to try something different. All the others have been maggot with no success. And I guess we'll give this a go for 15-20 minutes. If not, we'll move on to something else. I've been hand throwing my line, like I said, the throwaway line down there, so we can always go and have a look on that. But at the moment, very, very slow. I have finally hooked one. It's taken an awful long while. I've had to really scour that. I've gone down lighter in elastics, lighter in hook link, and just kept the feeding really small. There was a little flurry. We've had 3 or 4 people catch a fish within like 10 minutes. So possibly they're going to have a little bit of a feed, but it has been quiet. I've had a few roach. I think Jack is probably winning at the minute with 2 fish, or maybe Wayne. I can't really see him properly, but he had the first fish, followed up by a few roach. Just going to really take my time with this one, because at the minute, 1 fish puts you well back in with a chance. So it sounds crazy really to think that this was one here, £170 4 days ago, and that proves what winter fishing's about, I guess. Like, probably the best stock commercial around here, and we're sitting here struggling a bit, but that is exactly what the cold weather does to it. The pressure's high, they do move around, so you have to make the most of a bite if you get one when it's tough. No! So we're about halfway through now. Still not really a massive amount to report. A few more roach. I think the highlight of everyone's day is still me losing that carp, I would say. There's been 2 other fish out, but still 1 fish per angle. I think Jack's got 2, who's winning it. So it's just a case of keep changing around and switching, because literally everyone around the lake is still in it. 2 bites, that could happen in the last 5 minutes for all anyone knows, and you could go from sort of nowhere to well up there. I've tried quite a few lines on the pole. I've tried the line that I've thrown maggot and haven't had any success. I've got the tip rod to try. I'll perhaps chuck that out in a second, and then I'll feed down this edge perhaps in another half an hour or so with a couple of hours left. So there's a few other things to try. Keep plugging away. The fish that have been caught, again, I think have just been the odd fish coming in onto a very small bit of bait and then you have one. And if I hadn't have lost that fish, that'd have been the same for me as well. So more of the same, but keep plugging away, you never know. So we've got about an hour and a half left now. At least I'm not the only one losing fish. There's been a couple of other lost around the lake. I think possibly we might have Roger taking over the lead in the corner, fishing down to some stick-ups, which is always decent this time of year, just to have that little bit of cover. But I've just switched to the catapult, see if I can drum some interest up with just a bit more bait flowing through, because at the minute I just really cannot put anything together. Dan and Wayne have both just lost one within a minute of each other, and it looks like at the minute still only 2 fish is winning it. So lost fish for anyone is a bad sign. We'll give this perhaps 20 minutes with a catapult, see if it makes any difference. I'm probably guessing it won't at the minute. Don't think they really particularly want to feed, but you never know. Keep changing, keep trying things. Eventually something might just click into action. Well, that may have made a difference. I've fished it for about 5 minutes and we've got one. That's not to say I'm getting it in. As Wayne likes to remind me every time I go fishing, my hook to land ratio is about 20%, so that's not looking good. He's hairing off, but this is exciting stuff, like I said, because literally 1 or 2 fish does make a difference, and it is horrible when you're trying to play fish when you know that they make a difference. But the float did bear with a bit of confidence, so perhaps that noise or that movement through the water did actually help. I've got a funny feeling this might be foul because it's taken an awful long while to come in. This time of year they don't tend to fight that well. Dan, I believe, is now, yeah, he is, he's now into a fish as well, so as quite often is the case, like the last bit can be quite productive, but I'm not convinced this one's going to be coming in, if I'm honest. I can feel everyone around me wants to lose it. No, yeah. Only you, Wayne, yeah. Oh, and Dave. Wayne's now in as well. Things are hotting up with an hour or so to go, but I need to get this in if I'm going to do anything. Yay! Wayne! There we are. It wasn't foul looked. It's just quite a nice fish. Let's see if we can hold him up. This is the point where he probably flaps and misses a keep net. But there we are. We'll get back out there, perhaps on that line, get some more maggots going in, because you never know, it could have made a difference, or they could have just turned up. There's 3 or 4 people hooked one, so good signs though. We'll slip him back and carry on. Got about an hour left now. I've hooked my 3rd fish. Not sure who's winning, to be honest, because there's a few people on 2 or 3 fish, so it's tough to say. But I know Dan's just had 2 over there in quite quick succession. I think Roger is on 2, Jack's possibly on 3, so there's a few people in with a shout, all to play for going to the last hour. Literally everyone on the lake has got a chance, so it's a good, exciting finish. Had to move the bait a little bit on this one, just lift and drop, and then slowly sunk away. So I can't actually believe how well these fish have fought for how cold it's been and how hard the fishing's been as well. There we are, fish number 2. Jack's got another one, so that probably confirms his place in the lead at the moment, but still just under an hour left. Let's get out there and see if we can catch him. Can't have Jack winning. So we've got about 20 minutes left now. I think the match is over as far as the winner's going. Jack's had a real good flurry of fish. Playing another one now. He's probably had 6 or 7, so I don't think in 20 minutes anyone will catch him with how today's fish. Wayne has had a really big fish, so that's put him up there probably, I would say, second, but you never know until the weigh-in. I mean, I think we're pretty confident who's first, but there's a few people. Dan's had a few fish, there's a few people in with a chance. All I've done now is just swung round down this edge that I was talking about. It's nice and quiet, and in any match situation, regardless of any time of year, it's always worth it. And I'm not fishing right up against the bank, sort of 2 foot off it. I've put a sort of quarter of a big pot in, so quite a bit of bait, like a handful of bait should we say, and dropped it from a big height to make a load of noise, try and make it like I'm packing up, and I'll just see if I can nick one down there in the last sort of 20 minutes. If you do get one, they tend to be bigger fish, so you never know. You could put 1 or 2 fish together and that could push me perhaps into second. I think we're all fishing for second now. I don't know what he's done to change. I think perhaps the fish have just moved in over there. I'll have a chat with him at the end to see if he changed anything, see what we can learn, but it has been exciting up until now. Everyone's had a chance, and I'll just hopefully catch one more down this edge, and that'll do me, because it has been hard work. It's felt like a long 5 hours. A quick check of the phone, make it about a minute to go, and nothing more to report over here. It's been quite quiet this side of the bank, to be honest. I think, to be fair, the first 3 will come all over that side. So, but it's been a lot better the last hour for everyone. I guess everyone's had the odd bite, and the odd fish has been coming out. But like, especially for Jack, like I said, they seem to be gone right down in that corner. Dan next to him, I would guess is second, but it may be Wayne. It'd be between them two. But certainly that bank over there seems to have done the business today. But we've got a few seconds left. We'll give it the call all out, get packed away, and then we'll get the weigh-in done. So hopefully we'll see what weights has been had in a really, really tricky day. That's it.
14-4.
Dummy. So in third, well done Dan, with 15-7. Hard old day.
Hard old day.
Well done.
Another call in it.
Thank you.
Second, Wayne's World with,
Well done, Wayne.
what did he have? 21-14.
Well done,
Well
Wayne.
done, Wayne. And first, winning the Waters Edge Winter Trophy. I don't want to give you this, Jack.
We know where to put it.
23-14. Well done, mate.
Well done, Jack.
Well done, Jack.
Well done.
Well done, mate.
Could I have a nice picture, Jack, please? Look, get nice and close to your friend.
Well done, Jack. Well done, boy.
Brilliant. Thank you, chaps. Oh, that is lovely.
Well, that's it. All gears packed away. Winners have been paid out. And that really is winter fishing at its hardest, let's say. Only 4 or 5 days ago, the match on here had 3 weights over £100. So that just proves what a few different temperature changes can do and how hard situations can be. Looking back at the match, I don't think I really would have changed much. Perhaps I would have fed with a catapult and tried to drum some more interest off earlier. But speaking to Wayne, Jack, the people who won and the top 3, I only managed 4th. They've all caught a maggot. They've not fed a lot. So they've pretty much done what I've done. But the last hour and a half, they've had sort of a free 4-fish flurry that I didn't have. And I've lost 2 fish. It would have got me another couple of places. But I don't think I ever could have won it unless I would have found something that perhaps worked on the day. But it wasn't to be. A good, enjoyable match. We're going to be doing more of these. As it warms out in the summer, we'll be getting some big weight matches going on. And perhaps we can talk you through a bit more exciting fishing terms. But like I said, that is proper winter fishing. I'm now going to head off home. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on the next one.